Let me tell you, Sally is looking good. Who's Sally? Sally is my spectacular spreadsheet that I log all of my profits or losses on. And let me update this quick. I thought I might be able to get £95 for this Nintendo Switch Lite that I fixed in episode number 30, which cost me £35. How much was I able to get? £71.74. My estimated profit was 47. I ended up getting 32. Massive difference in the estimated versus accurate there. Now this PS5 that I fixed in episode number 31, 265.92. My estimated profit here was £101.81 and I actually sold it for £112.93 total net profit. So I missed out on the Switch Lite, I gained in the PS5. With that being said, I buy faulty electronic items, attempt to fix them and sell them for a profit. Welcome your faces back to episode number 32, season 2 of the series Profit or Loss. What have you got for us today, Joey? I paid a grand total of £45.71 for this faulty Nintendo Switch Lite. It's come nicely packaged and it looks like we might have a sticker or something. Is that a ring? On the back of it. The specific issue with this device, it was working fine, then left it charging up, and when I looked later, it still had no battery life. The charging cable, you can see the wires, not sure if it's the fault. I've been told that the charging port on the Switch Lite could have stopped working, so selling as faulty, it might be an easy fix for someone who knows. Now, the charging cable they're actually talking about is this one right here. This was included in the package as well, and we can see that the cable has been exposed here, but it doesn't look like there's any tears here. It more so just looks like the sleeve has come apart. So I think the cable itself is going to be fine, and our fault more so lies with the Nintendo Switch Lite itself. Now, the actual chassis seems all right. Oh, wait a minute. There is a little bit of a crack just in the top left from what I can see. But other than that, joysticks look pretty clean. It could do with an overall clean on the device, that has to be said. There is no SD card. And is there a game? Absolutely not. Avo, great day. I love that. I think it is wicked. So this person clearly likes avocados, right? Oh, I've broken it. Okay, interesting. Your time for avocados has come to an end, unfortunately. What is this stuck down with? Oh my gosh, yep, there's a lot of stuff in there. First of all, Lord glove. There we go. All right, well, that looks a lot better already. Let's see if it functions. Does it power on? Absolutely not. Let's check the charging port underneath the scope. How are we looking here then? Do you know what? That looks all right. I'm failing to understand what's actually wrong with this device, you know? That looks okay. I mean, the screw is there and, well, I was going to say there, that looks a little bit rusty or something. Maybe it isn't rust and it's just something that's in it, but that screw also looks untouched as well. Oh, maybe not this one as well. Okay, the charging port is, by the looks of it, okay, which does in fact mean we can plug in our ammeter. What's an ammeter, Joey? See this in the top right? It measures the current going into the device. Usually it gives me a more accurate representation as to what the fault is before I even get into the Nintendo Switch Lite. Let's have a look. What does it do? So pay attention up here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's like a flickering voltage. I think that's going to indicate some sort of short or bad battery, perhaps. But it's going from 1 to 200 to 300. And you can see these spikes here. These little white spikes are indicating that pattern exactly. Oh, wait a minute. It's just jumped up to 485. Hold on. So we've jumped up to 485. And then it's doing all sorts. Lord only knows what's going through this switch's mind. Let me just try and press the power button, see what happens. Nothing. Whatever's going on is not happy. It is like this. Maybe some sort of battery problem. I have no idea. It's just not stable. Looks like it's a little bit more stable now, but you can even see little tiny dips. Before we get any further into the video, a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is your website for DIY. Get an instant quote on your PCBs at a low cost with fast delivery. New customers will also get a $5 welcome bonus. Fully customize your PCB with a few clicks, including the thickness of the board to the color of the solder mask. PCBWay also offers services in CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and also injection molding. Head on over to the gift store and grab yourself a multimeter or a soldering iron. PCBWay has it all. Thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the repair. I think it's safe to say that this needs to be taken apart to see exactly what's going on under the hood. So let's do exactly that. Side note, it looks like we've got a severe case of finger cheese here, by the way. Finger cheese, gamer juice, whatever you want to call it. Whoa, things are just breaking off in here. Whoa. 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 What on earth is going on? Wait. Okay. So something most likely looks like it's coming from here and then it's spread all along the back of the case onto our switch. And same with the other side. I don't know where that's come from. Maybe in the vents or something. I don't know. That's really weird. I'm trying to investigate, you know. Maybe it's come in here and landed here and then it's gone all over there. Alrighty then. Safe to say, that's going in the bin. Let's go deeper. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I was wrong to assume it would be something simple as always. I've messed up. I mean, it actually looks relatively clean here. It looks like this metal has kind of done most of its job and stopped it from corroding elsewhere, but I could be wrong. Let me get a little bit closer. Disconnect the old battery. I'm just going to plug in the ammeter now without the battery connected, just to see what happens and see if I have a short perhaps on the board itself. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely not happy about something. It's flickering up to about 25, 30, and it's just rinse and repeating, which is not good. It's still 15 volts, which is nice, but it's not happy about something. Still, yeah. I think we have something wrong with the board rather than the actual battery itself, to be honest, because this, usually when we have this sort of situation, I've unplugged the battery, it should be next to no draw at all. If it hangs around 90 milliamps, it's usually the APU, and we're not seeing that. We're seeing 43, 27, and it's just rinse and repeating. So it's very, very strange. And the daughter board's been disconnected as well. So I fail to believe it's something to do with this side of the board, and it's more so something to do with the entirety of the main motherboard over here. Let's continue taking this apart then. Right, jubbly. Board's out. And to be honest with you, I can't necessarily see, just from this sort of angle, where there's any liquid damage. Turn it over to the back. Whoa. Okay. I see definitely something down here, which could 100% be causing an issue. If the corrosion has maybe paired some components down here that shouldn't be paired, we're going to have some issues, right? And that's on the back of the micro SD card. So that's probably where that liquid damage has come in there. And we've probably got this at a good time, to be honest, if it's just this small area. Let's go under the scope. How's it looking then? Yeesh. Okay. Well, I know the area of contention. I don't know what's going on here with this diode. I don't know if it's good or bad. If I go over to where we have the fuse, etc., and the port, I mean, the port is a little bit dirty, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be honest. Everywhere else on the board looks pretty spotless. I think, like I said, we got very lucky here. Very, very lucky. Caught this just in time. This could have been a lot worse. Let me just check the other side of the board, which is the side we had faced up originally. Okay, little bit of corrosion around here. So I turn that over onto this side. Nothing specifically in this location, but there definitely is a little something that we can sort out. Give it a little clean with some IPA. Get rid of that. Little drips and drabs on the board, but nothing severe. Underneath connectors looks okay as well. This area looks fine. Good. Happy days. Daughter board connector, etc. All good. Battery terminal connector, all good. Yeah, nice. Port looks, again, okay, just a little bit dirty. And I'll show you with the magic of IPA what that and a cotton swab can do. I'll be honest, it didn't do as good of a job as what I thought it was going to. I think maybe water might be the better option to use. Some sort of fizzy drink. Oh, that port probably does need replacing, hey. I'm worried a little bit for the traces on the inside. Should be alright, but you can see the clasp here is broke. And this is quite a sticky substance, so what's going to happen is that's going to be inside the port no matter how much of a clean I give this. You can see it's at the back. No matter how much of a clean I give this, it's not going to be okay. There's an argument to say that I could ultrasonic cleaner it, but with the clasp being a little bit loose, new port is probably going to be recommended here. Back to this little area then. Because I can see exactly where this liquid damage is, I'm just going to clean this area up with some IPA and a toothbrush. Give it a good scrub. That's all it needs. If any components fall off here whilst I'm cleaning it, they weren't fit for purpose, so it's good that they fall off the board. So I am being a little bit aggressive here when it comes to the cleaning, but there's a reason for that. How does that look? I still think we're going to benefit from some water, if I'm honest. I think this looks like a bit of a stickier substance. So let me do just that. Just put some water on my brush. You might be thinking, Joey, what water? What do you mean? Well, we'll dry it off anyway. It won't give us, it won't do any harm. Yeah, it looks a little bit better, hey. So the water's done a little bit of a better job there. I want to know if that's completely gone or whether that's just rusty. It just looks rusty. Cool. Scrape that off. Same with here. Scrape that off. And here. Okay. Whoa, there we go. See, one component's just fallen off, and that's just with my toothbrush. Oh, it's gone. I want to see if it's causing a short. Well, it's definitely pinged off and it's disappeared. It's gone. It's gone forever. So I'll never know if that component was specifically shorted or not. Don't think that cap was necessarily doing too much, I guess. Just going to plug it in. See if we still got our crazy spikes. So come back with the ammeter. Or does it just sit a little bit more sensible? Looks like we still have our issue here. Jumping up to the 20s and 30 milliamps or so. So we haven't, just with that clean, we haven't rectified our issue here. It's back under the scope. I'm in diode mode, and just to confirm, I don't think replacing that cap is going to make the difference here. Just as an FYI. I'm just going to measure on some things though. What do I get here? I get 0 in diode mode on this rail, which is surprising because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I get 0 here as well. So wait, is it the actual diode itself that's shorted, which is causing a drop in the line, perhaps? What do we have here? 1.49 in diode mode. But why would you have a cap on a ground line, you know? What do we have here? 1.49 this way. Open line. Okay, 1.49. I've got a donor board here. Same layout. It's got the same marking on it as well. Can you see we got the same marking going across it? So we have 1.49. What do we have on this one? 2.1. 2.19 this way. Nada. So what happens if I measure in diode mode on this line? 0.4. Okay, so we have an issue on this line by the looks of it. Maybe that cap does do something. This is underneath the SD card reader, by the way, that this goes to. So I'm just wondering if we have any specifically shorted components here. This is back under the main board that we're working on that I bought that was faulty. What do we have on this cap? Nothing. 0. What do we have here? 0.4. 0.4. 0.4. 0.4. That one we know what it is. 0.4. That's ground. 0.6. 0.4. I think all of these lines are okay. So that's 0.4, sorry. So I don't know if it's got anything to do with it. We have little bits of corrosion here. Weirdly as well, inside here, looks pretty clean. Doesn't look bad. Some little crumbs, but nothing horrendous. Okay, before I get all, you know, let's just replace XYZ. I'm just going to test around this transistor as well. What do we have? 1.37. Seems a little bit high, but I could be wrong. What do we have here? Ground. This one. 0.49. Yeah, 1.37 seems a little bit high. This side of the resistor, 1.49, which is from the diode. Measure on our donor, 1.32. Oh, okay, fine. So it's meant to be what it is. And that's 0.49. That's ground. I think it's going to be this, but I also don't have the cap on the line, so I'm now confused if it's going to be that. I think I'm just going to get rid of this and see what happens. Don't copy me, by the way. 0.00. Okay, so we still have a short on here, so it probably wasn't that. What do we have on this little guy down here as well? Look. Oh, well, he's just broken off. Okay. Whoa, now we have 0.35. I wasn't getting that before. I wasn't getting that. Oh, here we go. And now I get 0.35 here. So that component was the issue. The one that I just flicked off. So that was our guy. Because now we're all good, I think. Let me just wipe this all clean. Not as easy as that today, is it? I always feel like there's a trick up the console sleeve, you know? Yeah, 0.35. And what about this line then? 0.35. Okay, maybe we're good. Still got a bunch of things to do, but I do just want to plug it in and see what happens. You know, is it going to be different now? Let's see. That's it. Yeah, that's normal. So you see how it bumped up to 0.4 and then dropped down? I love that. That's it. Turn it around. 0.5, 0.6, drop down to 0. There we go. That's all good. I know it's still flickering, but that is a normal reading. I could put this back in the chassis now, and I bet it works. However, I do have to rebuild this little circuit down here just in case, because those caps are there for a reason, whether it be smoothing or whatever. But the PCB design engineers, or whatever you want to call them, are going to be a lot more knowledgeable than what I am as to why they should be there. So they should be there for a reason. So first things first, I'm going to put a splash of flux on here, which is going to help me clean the joints essentially. Get them all spick and span. Doesn't matter if I go over these gold contacts, I'd rather make sure that I get everything I need to get, even if that puts a drop of solder on it, you know. Yeah, that's completely corroded away. I'm pretty sure the cap was joined there to there, wasn't it? Cap there to there? Where's my donor? Yes, it was. Can I get that cap there to there? Yeah, I can. It's going to have to go diagonal, but it should be fine. We've got over here as well. Let's clear this little area up. Again, going to have to do some scraping. There we go. There wasn't a component there, was there? No, there wasn't there, just contacts. Okay, sweet. So we're looking okay. And then we just got to sort out this bit. Lovely. Replace this little component here. Got leaded on it now, so it should go down nice and easy. There we go. That is diagonal. And I'll flow that in a second as well. Same for this one. Just get that down there. We'll sort in a sec. This one going to be a little bit trickier because I don't want to burn the button. There's a nice simple way of doing this one. I'm just going to remove the solder that I have here, like that. Rotate the board, take our diode and solder it this end, like that. Rotate it back, and without flux, because luckily this solder, the core of it has flux in, just like that, boom. Perfect. A little bit more this side. Rotate again, make our lives easy. There we go. That will do. Because it's diode, it's going to be sensitive as well. So we leave it as that. Reflow these components very, very quickly. And the way we do that is a drop of flux. Tiny bit. Just there. And just hit. And lower our airspeed down to about 10%. And you can see we've already got a bit too much flux here. So I'm just dabbing it. And again, another little dab. That's better. And now we should see these components dance into place on their pads. There we go. I think that one was pretty much solid anyway, this one. There we go. See that move? Nice. So that one's moved into place. I think this one's sat nicely already. Nice little dab with our microfiber cloth. A little bit of IPA. Finish that job specifically. And there we go. That's looking 10 times better than what it did before. That's for sure. Now, before I do the port quickly, I do just want to test and make sure I get some stuff on the screen. Okay, have we saved this poor Nintendo Switch Lite's life from the bin? Have we fixed it? Let's see. Go to plug it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Please, 483, that's good. Battery symbol. Yo! There it is. Battery symbol on the screen. Lovely jubbly. I think it's just taking a little bit of a charge before it turns on, which also means that the battery wasn't completely dead and flat. It still had a tiny bit of charge in it, but just not enough to turn the device on. Usually if a device is flat with a flat battery on a Nintendo device, a Switch Lite or a Switch, it usually sits at around about 100 milliamps or so. So the fact this has jumped straight up to 470 is really good. I'm just going to, again, confirm and make sure that this turns on. All right, looks like we have a lovely, healthy charge on this device. The screen looks absolutely perfect. It's just turned on. We got 600, nearly 700 milliamps. It's been on charge for a while, as you could tell, pretty much an hour from the time stated here. And I was looking for chassis to actually swap this into, but on second thought, it does need a little bit of a clean down the bottom. Obviously, we know that the screen itself works. So I think instead of taking everything out and swapping it around, more so what I'm going to do is just, this is a donor one that I've got. It's just a back chassis. I'm going to use this with this. And yeah, I know we still got our little crack, what seems to be up here. But all in all, there's not really a reason as to why I shouldn't use this. I still need to take the board out and change the charging port. So whilst it is empty, I'll give everything a nice scrub. Let's change the port. Here we go, 450 degrees Celsius, airflow speed, a nice cushy 50%, health as well, so I have my fume extractor hanging over the board. But luckily for me, and I guess you guys as well, we don't have the shake anymore, which used to happen when I had the fume extractor placed on the desk, and it was really noisy and horrendous. But now we have a better fume extractor, which I should probably go over in a video, if I'm honest with you. I've not done that yet. All right, that's getting there. But I want to be careful because we had sticky substance, remember? It's not substance. I didn't stub my toe on the port. What that means is that potentially we could have some pads underneath that don't want to separate from the port itself. Let's just take it off. Fine. Okay, that looks good to me. I'll go inside the port in a second and see how bad it was. And then what we do if we're quick here, some nice flux, Steery flux. There is an affiliated link down below if you're interested in buying some of this flux because you like what you see. Make sure to use code JDT at checkout to get 10% off your order. Here we go. Mix in the leaded with the unleaded that we have on the board. Just like that. Lovely jubbly. Wipe away all of our flux. Actually need to tin another port. I've not done that yet. But that is nice prepped looking pads, if you ask me. Look at that. Ready for our new port. Speaking of ports, here's our old one. Yeah, look at that. Disgusting. Something right in the back of there. I think that might even be where the liquid originally came from and caused our little bits of a liquido damage maybe on the traces. There's something in the back of that. What are you? What is that? Well, I don't want it to break my tweezers actually. Let's get the thicker ones. I don't know what it is. I think it is some sort of Coca-Cola or something maybe. Wow. Now we come in with another tiny blob of flux just over the important areas. That's it. I've tinned the other port as well, so it should now sit nicely on the board. Here we go. Place our port on. Keep rotating that heat with the hot air gun and watch it fall into place. There we go. Move it back and forth a little bit, give it a chance to bond with the actual solder. That looks good to me. Gentle push down and off on the hot air gun. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. There we go. Solidified. Come in with a cotton swab and give it a nice, clean and tidy. Don't know if this one is sat correctly. I'll have a look in a second and confirm. It might be hanging up just a little bit, and that could be affecting the pins in the way that they're connected to the board, but we'll have a look in a sec. How flat does it look? Looks pretty flat. This, you can see here where the screw goes, is not completely flat, but that might just be bent up because all of those pins on the port are connected to the board. You see that? They're all absolutely solid there. Really nice solder joints, which gives me good faith that the ones underneath are also going to be good. Lastly, a little tiny weeny clean on the back as well. And just like that, we should be all right. I'll give this housing a little bit of a clean, but nobody really needs to actually see that. And then once I've done that, I'll be back with you to confirm all working, all tested, all that good stuff, and to obviously see how much of a profit we've made. Right, and with me getting the finger grease out of the analog sticks, I think this is good to go. I've tested a game. As you can see, we've got Immortals Phoenix Rising just down here. The only thing I've not done is connect to Wi-Fi. I've tested the SD card slot as well because I was a little bit worried that there might be stuff underneath it, but working absolutely fine every single time I plug it in. And yeah, it's pretty much good to go. Just connected to Wi-Fi, as you can see up here, and I've tested the analog sticks as well, and they both seem to be working without any signs of drift or anything, which is also really, really good news. The only thing on this is that obviously the serial numbers changed now, so I'll have to put that in the listing, as well as the fact we've still got this crack here, which will end up devaluing the console and little bumps and stuff, but we're still going to be in a profit, I hope anyway. Let's head on over to Sally's spectacular spreadsheet to finalise this one up. So our total cost here for the Nintendo Switch Lite was £45.71. I spent £1 on the charging port, everything else is donor, and I'm gonna be a little bit more gracious here. I'm gonna say £85 I reckon I'll be able to get for this, which gives us an estimated profit of £30.64. I actually paid quite a bit for it. £45.71 is on the higher side of what I'd pay usually for a faulty Nintendo Switch Lite, with £3.99 as well on the old postage. We're looking at around about £26.65 total. As for final scores on the doors, we're over £1,000, £1,071.76 for the estimated total profit, where our actual total profit comes in at £849.40 out of the total £2,000 target. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll leave the playlist to start this season just up here. Hope you have a great rest of your day, week, weekend, whatever it is for you. Hopefully we can continue these nice little profits. As always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace.